All right, let's get into it. If you've ever worked with Linux servers, I bet you've hit that brick wall called SE Linux. You know the feeling? You get a permission error, you check the file, everything looks totally fine, but it's not. Well, the problem is very often this hidden label, a file context. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on these contexts and show you the professional, permanent way to manage them for good. Oh yeah, we've all been there. You're pulling your hair out. Your file permissions look perfect. You've got read, write, execute. It's all there. But your application is still just screaming permission denied. More often than not, the silent culprit behind the scenes is a mismatched SE Linux context. And that's exactly the problem we're going to solve today. So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with what these contexts even are. Then we'll get into the super important difference between a temporary fix and the permanent solution. After that, we'll walk through the pro workflow using cmanage, learn how to keep our rules tidy, and wrap it all up with some crucial best practices. Okay, let's get right to the heart of it. The easiest way to think of an SE Linux context is like a security ID card. It's attached to every single file, every directory, and every process on your system. And this little ID card is what tells SE Linux exactly what that thing is and what it's allowed to talk to. So to put it a bit more formally, it's a security label. This isn't part of your standard Unix permissions like read, write, execute. Nope. It's a completely separate layer of security that decides who can do what based on a strict policy, not just who owns the file. So what does this ID card look like? Well, it's got 4 parts: user, role, type, and level. Now that might seem a little intimidating, but here's the secret. For 99% of what you'll be doing as a sysadmin, you can basically ignore most of it. The only part that really truly matters is that third field, the type. That's the key. It's what SE Linux policies actually use to say yes or no. All right, now we're at the part where so many people trip up. You see, there are 2 ways to change a file's context. One of them feels like a quick and easy win, but I promise you it's a trap that's going to cause you major headaches down the line. Let's break it down. The difference here is actually super simple. Using checkcon is kind of like slapping a post-it note on a file. Sure, it works right now, but that little sticky note is going to fall right off the second you reboot the machine or the system decides to relabel itself. cmanage, on the other hand, is like officially reprinting the file's ID card. You're changing the master policy itself, making your change permanent and totally reliable. So let's do this the right way. The professional workflow, the one you absolutely must use on production systems, uses a combo of 2 commands, one to define the new policy and another to apply it. It's really just a simple, repeatable 4-step dance. First, you add a new rule to the SE Linux policy. Second, you double-check that it was written correctly. Third, you apply that new rule to the actual file system. And finally, you confirm that your change actually worked. Let's walk through each one of these. Step 1, we define the rule. We use the command cmanage fcontext. The A flag is simple. It just means add a rule. The T specifies the type we want to apply. In this case, let's pretend it's Samba share T. And last, you just give it the full path to the file you want to change. Okay, before you do anything else, and I mean anything, you have to verify that the rule was actually saved. All your custom rules get written to this filecontexts.local file. Just run a quick tail or a grep on this file to make sure your new policy is officially part of the system's configuration. This is a super important sanity check. Don't skip it. Now we get to apply it. This is where restorecon comes into play. What this command does is it reads all the master policy files, including that custom one you just added, and it restores the file's context to whatever the policy says it should be. And a pro tip, use the V for verbose. It's great because it'll actually tell you if a change was made. And finally, the moment of truth. We run ls-z on our file one last time. If everything went according to plan, you should see your new type, Samba share T, sitting right there in the output. Your change is now official, it's permanent, and it's going to survive a reboot, no problem. But what about directories? I mean, you don't want to label every single file one by one, right? The trick is a really simple regex pattern, /rex par. This little bit of magic tells Silinox, hey, apply this rule to the directory itself and to anything and everything that gets created inside it from now on. Then you just use restorecon with the recursive -r flag, and it'll apply the new context to everything already in there. Okay, so you've added some rules. That's awesome. But a big part of being a sysadmin is just good housekeeping. You need to know how to see the custom rules you've made, and, just as important, how to clean them up when you don't need them anymore. Think of this as your quick reference cheat sheet for managing F-context rules. L will let you list all your custom rules. You can then pipe that to grep to find a specific one, and if you need to get rid of a rule, it's just as easy. Cmanage F-context D, followed by the exact same path pattern you used when you created it. All right, let's wrap all this up into a nice, clean set of best practices. If you follow these simple rules, you're going to save yourself from so many future headaches and make sure your SE Linux policies are strong and predictable. So let's recap the do's. Number 1, always use the cmanage and restoreCon combo for permanent changes. Use that verbose V flag to see what's actually changing. Get comfortable with that little regex pattern for directories. And please always verify your rule was written to the local policy file before you apply it. And now for the don't list. Seriously, I can't stress this enough. Never, ever rely on checkcon for anything that needs to last. It's a temporary tool for temporary testing. That's it. Also, always remember to put your path with the regex in quotes so the shell doesn't get confused. And don't forget that R flag when you run restoreCon on a directory. Look, if you remember absolutely nothing else from this whole explainer, please just remember this one golden rule. chcon is for now, cmanage F-context is forever. Understanding this one distinction is the absolute key to mastering SE Linux file contexts. Let's boil it all down to a simple two-step philosophy. First, you are the architect. You define the security policy with cmanage. Then, you are the enforcer. You apply that policy to the file system with restoreCon. Define, then apply. It's that simple. And that is how you correctly and permanently manage SE Linux file contexts. But, this is really only one side of the coin. Every single process running on your system also has a context, and that's what determines which files it can access. So the next logical question is, how do you manage the rules that govern all those interactions? Well, that sounds like a topic for another day.